let's move on to our second main topic today. And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Luis Molina, who writes, "Hey, John. I've been a fan since the AMC days. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Variety is reporting that Cate Blanchett is in talks to join Eli Roth's Borderlands movie as the character of Lilith. I love Cate Blanchett and would love to see her in any movie. What do you think? Thanks, and bring on the filthy." All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And of course, yes, Eli Roth, we talked about this a while ago, had come on board. He's going to be directing and developing a Borderlands movie, which is, of course, a psychotically popular video game franchise. So this news came out, and I got to tell you, it made me do a double take. This made me do a double take. This is actually pretty exciting if you're into Borderlands. This comes to us from Variety. It's game on for Cate Blanchett. Sources tell Variety that the Oscar-winning actress, two-time Oscar-winning actress, just to be clear, two-time Oscar-winning actress is in talks to star as Lilith in Lionsgate's Borderlands, an adaptation of the popular video game. Lionsgate had no comment. Borderlands, launched in 2009, is a role-playing first-person shooter game. The game is set on the frontier of a sci-fi universe on the planet of Pandora, which has been abandoned by a megacorporation prior to the game's events. The series has sold more than 57 million units worldwide. All right. Look, the first thing that's got to be pointed out here is this. I always say the following. It is never a mistake to add talent. And you are simply adding here what to me could arguably be the currently best working actress in the world. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made that Cate Blanchett, I'm not saying she's the greatest of all time, but I think there's an argument to be made that right now she might be, she's at least in the discussion, that Cate Blanchett may be the best working actress in the world. And she's got that quality where you could put her in any kind of movie. You can just flat out put her in any kind of movie and she will find a way to make it work. You need heavy drama? Do it. You want to put her in a Lord of the Rings movie? Do it. You want to put her in something with Leo DiCaprio? Do it. You want to put her in a comic book movie? Make her Hela in Thor, where she just walked in to a seemingly, this doesn't fit the Academy Award winning Cate Blanchett, and she found a way to come and play Hela, and she elevated the character with her performance. She can do it. And now you take somebody like that, Rob, and you bring her into a video game movie. I mean, she's done the novelizations in Lord of the Rings. She's done comic books with Thor, and now she's going to go into a video game adaptation. Listen, this says a couple of things. Number one, I think it says a little something about the growing development of the video game movie genre over the last few years. I think it's just, look, we had a big slew of video game movies, and they all suck, with very, very, very few minor exceptions. But I feel like in the last couple of years, you've seen a little bit more of an effort being put into, let's really give these things the major motion picture development. And I think it says something that a Cate Blanchett would come into something like that right now. But the thing that really gets me excited is this. Can you imagine the pitch they must have given Cate Blanchett for her to go, yeah, I'll sign up for that? The pitch must be great. I mean, the pitch must be great. She simply doesn't, Cate Blanchett is not an actress who is hurting for work. She's got her pick and choice of whatever role she wants to do and whatever movie she wants to be in. And for her to say yes to something like this, to me, that excites me because it says to me they've got to have something good at least in mind. Now, whether it executes well and turns out to be good or not, who knows? But this is nothing but good news, Rob. I think if you're a fan of this franchise, the addition of a Cate Blanchett has got to be exciting on several levels. Anyway, Rob, I was surprised. You heard this news. What do you make of it?
Well, I love Cate Blanchett. I mean, she's definitely the kind of actress I wish I could hang out with for an evening, you know, not just because she's so cool whenever I've seen her interviewed. And I think that she likes doing these roles. I think when she was Galadriel, she got a taste of it. And, you know, she can go do a Blue Jasmine with Woody Allen or, you know, do some prestigious project. But doing something like this, she gets to play dress up, wear costumes, you know, have pink hair or whatever, play some crazy video game character. And I think that this is something for an actress like her, she's having a good time. I mean, if she had to play Oscar bait roles all the time, I think based on what I've seen of her personality, albeit I've never met, even working on the Lord of the Rings DVD special features, I never met her. But I love watching her in interviews and supporting films, and she just seems like a really cool lady. And I'm sure she looked at this role and said, well, this is going to be fun. And she picks roles because she gets to work with, Eli Roth has done some interesting stuff in the horror realm, and this is probably going to be a pretty interesting project. And they probably showed her production art and look at this. This is what you're going to be. And she's probably like, all right, I'm in. I mean, what's not to love about something like this? And if it becomes a franchise property and they get to bring her back, I mean, Eli Roth, can you imagine, dude, if you're going to make a movie and you were able to score Cate Blanchett? I mean, even if she was playing the Hunchback of Notre Dame or Notre Dame, and you'd be like, Cate Blanchett's going to be the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean, that would have been dope. He's probably stoked. Everybody involved in the project is stoked. And by the way, if someone like her is signing on, who else can they get to be in the movie? Which can only elevate the property.
That's exactly what I was going to say next, as a matter of fact, because not only are you getting, I believe she's a 6-time Oscar nominee, 2-time winner, all that kind of stuff. When you look at the comic book genre, right?
Yeah.
Once you started getting names, because people will be tempted to say Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr.'s name was mud when they attached him to Iron Man. That was some visionary stuff by Jon Favreau. But once you started getting, I'm sorry, what? Anthony Hopkins is going to be in the MCU as Odin? Once you start getting Ben Kingsley is going to be in the MCU. Robert Redford is going, once you started getting these names, it's like nobody is off limits anymore. There was a time, Rob, not so long ago, that even in the comic book genre, oh yeah, there were a lot of high profile actors' names that you can just write those off. Those people will never be in a comic book movie. Now, I don't know that there's any name that wouldn't do a comic book. And I include Leo DiCaprio in that. Even Leo DiCaprio recently has kind of softened on that and saying, if it's the right script. It used to be that. I think if a Cate Blanchett, 6-time Oscar nominee, 2-time Oscar winner, can maybe in the argument for the best actress in the world right now today, if she's signing up for this, I think what you raise is incredibly important, because this could throw open the floodgates of a lot of other performers and actors looking at maybe the video game genre and going, maybe that is, there's only so many movies comic book movies can make. Maybe the video game genre is something I can go in. Look, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, all right? This is just the announcement of one casting. I'm just saying that the movie must at least look good on paper for Cate Blanchett to join. And Rob, if it turns out well, I mean, sky's the limit for who you could see signing up for video game adaptation movies in the future. I mean, if this comes out and it's good and people like Cate Blanchett's performance and it gets her some attention, can't you see other major stars lining up and going, okay, if a video game movie calls, take the call. Whereas I think maybe in the past that hasn't been the case. Or am I overthinking this? Am I getting too enthusiastic? But I think this could be a major event. What do you think?
I agree with you. I mean, I think that, we live in a golden age of fantasy, sci-fi, and horror cinema, really. And video games, I consider video game adaptations are fantasy cinema. Whether we're going to get an Uncharted or whether we get an Assassin's Creed, or hell, I'd love to see a Devil May Cry movies or an Onimusha movie too. But we're in this golden age where anything is possible, where actors, they no longer, it's not like, oh, I'm not going to be in one of those movies because that's slumming. No. I mean, once you point out, Anthony Hopkins is Odin and crossing the Rainbow Bridge and hanging out as a homeless person on Earth or whatever. Anthony Hopkins says to everyone, anybody can be in these movies. It's not slumming at all. So the validation that these actors are bringing to this material means that we as viewers I hope, this is what I hope, John, is that we always are getting, the materials, they class up the joint, to be honest. And I think that can only be good for this kind of material. And I think when you have an actress like Cate Blanchett, you don't want to let her down. You want to make sure that script is airtight. You want to make sure that the story that you're telling is first rate, because you don't want to be the guy or the girl or the entire team that screwed over Cate Blanchett and squandered your Oscar-winning actress. You want somebody to be like, I'm going to go see that movie and people loving it, so word of mouth is good, and the blessing that she's given you, you want to make sure that you push that as far as it can go and make some cheddar.
Yep. And of course, they're not looking at this as a one-shot movie. They're definitely looking at this as a franchise. So you got to knock this out of the park. If you had told me a year ago, hey, do you think we're ever going to see a movie directed by Eli Roth starring Cate Blanchett? I probably would have said no. That doesn't sound like a match to me, but this has me a bit excited. Question here is, guys, what do you think about this news? Are you surprised by it like I am? Do you think this could offer a lot of possibilities? Maybe you don't think it's such a good fit. Whatever you guys think, I want to know what it is. Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys.